In this section, we show you how to use the quadratic formula to determine the number and type of solutions of quadratic equations. For example, if we want to determine the number and type of solutions of this equation, not solve it, but just find the number and type of solutions, we look at the discriminant of the quadratic formula. Here's what the discriminant is. It's this portion inside the square root that determines the number and types of solutions. Recall that if this value under here is 0, that would mean the square root of 0 is 0, and that would go away, and you'd have that single value divided by that single value, and you'd have one real solution. If that was positive, a positive value, you'd have the square root of a positive number, and you'd have that plus and minus calculation to do, and you'd have two real solutions. And if this value inside here, this value here, was negative, you'd have the square root of a negative number, and you'd have two complex solutions. So here's a summary of that. B squared minus 4ac is called a discriminant. So when under these circumstances, you have these kinds of solutions. Alright, so here's the idea. Let's go find the discriminant in the quadratic formula for this equation. Now, to use this formula, you need your original equation to have 0 on one side and everything else on the other. So the first step here is to add 16 to both sides, and here's what that looks like. So if you add 16 to both sides, you get 0 on one side, and you have this expression on the other. So now, if I were to actually go out and put all the a, b, and c values into the formula, a being 1, b equaling -8, and c equaling 16, I'd actually get this. And we're not interested in actually solving it, but we're interested in knowing what this value is. So if we were to continue here, we'd get positive 8 over 2, and inside the square root, we'd get 64 minus 64, or 0. So the idea is that 0 is playing the role of finding the number and type of solutions here. So that would go away, and we have a over 2, which is a solution of 4. But we're not interested in the solution. We're interested in determining the number and type of solutions. So this would indicate one real solution here. So one real solution is the answer to our question, or what we're trying to find. Let's do another one. Let's look at this equation here. This left side equaling 10. The idea here, to use the formula, we have to isolate the expression on one side with 0 on the other, so we got to subtract 10 from both sides. Here's what that looks like. So we get this expression equaling 0. Let's just go find the discriminant, this portion here, and then use this knowledge to determine the number and type of solutions. So we're just going to find b squared minus 4ac, b being 6, a being -4, c being -18. So we're going to find that value of that expression, the discriminant. Plugging in the values here and calculating, we get 36 minus 288 and a value of -252. What does that mean for us? Well, in the formula here, we would take the square root of a negative number, and we recognize we're going to have two complex solutions here. So two complex solutions. Again, not interested in solving, just determining the number and type of solutions.